As we're growing more in the corporate aspect of business here, we are seeing more and more businesses looking to set up brands here, and they're looking to protect their brand, their logo, so on and so forth. So we're getting more into trademarking here. And one of the questions that arises is, can you trademark here in Serbia? How long am I protected? What can I trademark? How does this process work? And so today, we're going to be getting into this video talking about trademarks and how that brief overview of this process works. And if you're interested in doing so, feel free to reach out to us with your trademark ideas. Now, what is a trademark? Let's give you a brief overview. So here in Serbia, a trademark will cover either a word or words or a logo, or both combined under one trademark. Of course, the prices go up for your trademarks as depending on what you're looking to trademark. The protection that we typically do is for Serbia only. That is typically because people are looking to set up some sort of brand that is just tied to Serbia. Now, if you're looking to do a general brand here in Europe, we can also step that up into another class and cover all of EU, which is, of course, is going to cover or incur a higher threshold of costs involved too, because there's more jurisdictions, there's more chances of being rejected because now you're dealing with more countries when it comes to the EU rather than Serbia specific. And being that Serbia is not in the EU, our rules here are a lot different with the rules and regulations than they are for EU. So that is something to keep in mind as well. The protection applies to products and services. And so a lot of people think that it's only a product that we're able to cover here in Serbia, which is not the fact. And the validity of a trademark here in Serbia is 10 years. And that can be renewed indefinitely. So that's something that you need to keep in mind as well. And in Serbia, the rules are the first to file are the ones that will get that patent. So registration matters the most than the use. So that's important as well. One thing I want to just note on, because we've worked with a number of brands here that have partners involved, and the main, owner of this brand is in a foreign country and they have partners here in Serbia, and they're like, well, listen, I don't want to come to Serbia to file the trademark. I want to do it through our partners. And that is great as long as you trust those partners. And in business, things can get hairy. And so we advise that if you want to protect that brand under your own thumb, that you do it under your own name. It's very easy to register it in someone else's name, but it's very, very difficult to switch that trademark from your partner to yourself down the road. And being that you want to trademark and you don't want to come to Serbia, this can be done in Serbia without you actually entering the country. We simply issue this, like a lot of our processes here. Serbian citizenship by descent is one of the biggest one we do this with, is by issuing a power of attorney. We send it to you, you get it signed in your home country, you notarize it, and you send it back to us, and we take it from there with those services. Now, the trademark classes here in Serbia, there are 45 classes that you can trademark under. 1 to 34 will cover products, and then 35 to 45 will cover services, and you must choose at least one class. Now, if you're going to choose more classes, that is going to, of course, up the cost of your trademark. Doesn't matter if it's a logo or if it's a word or a phrase. That will also determine the price. But now if you're taking those two items and adding multiple classes, that is also going to increase the price of your trademark here in Serbia. Now, one thing to note is that trademarking here is substantially cheaper than it is in, for instance, the United States or Canada, which is tens of thousands of dollars. And you know, I've seen people lose their shirts on trademarking, and it's actually been more of a hindrance than anything. Here in Serbia, you can trademark for a significantly lower price and still get the benefit of the use of that trademark here. Now, the protection only exists for the ones that you're doing in Serbia inside the chosen class. So if you are looking to set up a clothing line and you just set it up under apparel, you're only going to be protected in that apparel class. Now, that means someone can come and take that same brand, that same logo, and use it for a service-based industry, say cooking or trades or something like that. So make sure that you cover all the bases, which is something that we go over with myself and my team here in the office, which currently have gone home for the day. And so that's something that you have to keep in mind as well. So the word mark typically here is the strongest protection and is recommended first, and then you can add in the logo mark after. But if you already have a logo to go with your word mark, we can combine both of them at the same time, which will give you the most security when it comes to your trademark, which I think is the best. And if you already have an established brand in another country and have that trademark there, you can easily bring that over here, especially if you're trying to give a little bit of a variance, which is one of our clients is trying to do that, giving it a Serbian touch rather than the touch that they have in their home country. Now, trademark searches are very similar to most of the other countries. The checks, of course, look for existing similar trademarks, and this is something that we have to do preliminary to reduce the rejection and opposition risk from the authorities, right? So this is not mandatory, but of course it's strongly recommended. And being that Serbia is not a huge target for people trademarking, it's relatively easy to get approved. Now, the filing application does take a while. There is a process to this, so we have to get all your applicant's details. We find out what you're looking to trademark. We select the classes, which we go over with you, of course. Is it goods? Is it services? And the description that goes along with that. And we have to, of course, pay the government fees. And then we file that with the Serbian Intellectual Property Office here. Of course, all of this is done in Serbian language. You cannot do this in the English language, which is what one of our clients actually tried to do. And they're like, why am I getting rejected? And it's because they were using the wrong language and they didn't use the correct processes, and they didn't do the due diligence essentially in order to do that. So then you get into the examination process, formal review, then there's they check for conflicts, and then corrections if the organization or the intellectual property office requests that. So you may have some corrections you need to deal with, but we typically look at that in the due diligence process to reduce the corrections and get that approved a little bit quicker. Publications and oppositions, they are approved marks and are published 3 months opposition period. So if you have something that is approved and someone sees that is published in public records, they have 3 months to put in an opposition on your trademark. After 3 months, it is closed. So you may have opposition, but again, Serbia is something not that's very popular for, so it is pretty much an open playing field. what is the timeline for your trademark? So this can take an average of 6 months, but we've seen this pushed out to 12 months, depending on how many trademarks you're looking to file under one license, how many products, how many services that you're looking to put in there, how many classes you're looking to do as well. So that is something that you have to look at as well. And of course, this can be extended if there are rejections done. So you have to look at that. Now, some of the key limitations that you have to understand is just because you get an approved trademark here in Serbia, that does not automatically mean that you have a business license. You still have to open up a business then, but you have the rights to use that trademark for that business, right? That trademark does not mean you got company registration right away. You have to register a business here. That trademark does not mean that you have domain ownership either. So you can have something trademarked here in Serbia, your logo, your word, but then you may have some John Doe out of another country that takes your internet domain. That does not mean that that domain is for you. So I would highly recommend, domains are not that expensive. Find a domain that you want, that you're in tune with your brand that you're looking to trademark, purchase that domain, and then look at getting trademarked here in Serbia. And so the final takeaway I want you to understand in this video, trademark depends on the chosen classes. We typically do Serbia only, but we can do all of the European Union, but there's a higher rate of rejection because you have to go through every country. Every country has to approve it. And if there's one country that has an opposition or rejects it, your whole trademark is closed. So that's why we typically work within Serbia and ensure that you're filing correctly for the first time to reduce rejections. If you're looking to get a trademark done in Serbia, feel free to book in a call with us. We'd be happy to help.